I just wanted to say welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our speaker this morning. Today's session is all about how to build an online business through the e-commerce website Shopify. A little bit about Tanya. She's co-founder and first social media officer for Izana and an independent producer, director, and videographer. Dhanksak and Company was created by Zoroastrians for Zoroastrians to challenge the idea that we are diminishing and instead make ourselves more visible in popular culture. So showing Zoroastrian culture through the lens of a modern streetwear style associated with an unapologetic, powerful boldness. Dhansak Co and Company is for Zoroastrians who want to wear their identity on their sleeves and start a conversation about their faith and community within the diaspora. She's an independent producer, director, videographer, and she specializes in creating and securing funding for documentaries and episodic series through Shopify Studios. Welcome, Tanya. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Arash. I appreciate the introduction. Thank you. I'll let you get to the presentation. In the meantime, thank you everybody for attending today's session about how to build your own online business through Shopify. I also want to thank everybody at WZCC for giving me the opportunity to chat today. Specifically, thank you, Arash, thank you, Afreed, and thank you, Cyrus, as always, for all your continued support. And I'm excited to share all my insights today with everybody. If at any point you guys feel like I'm talking too fast, just drop a comment in the chat and just let me know. I'm going to try my best to talk slowly because I normally talk very fast.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're just having some issues sharing the screen. Perfect, can you see my screen now?
Perfect, thank you.
Amazing. Before we get started, if anyone has any questions as we are going through, please write them in the chat box window, and then towards the end, after Tanya's finished with her presentation, I will read the questions out loud and have her answer them.
Great, and then Arash, just to help you out, I'll just say next.
Okay.
And you'll be good. I'll type in the comment in our chat box, so it'll help you out. Cool. Awesome, thank you. So I'd like to begin with just a brief introduction. I'm Tanya. I'm a producer for growth marketing at Shopify, where I've worked for the past 3 years. And during this time, I've had the amazing opportunity to see the impact that Shopify has had on the lives of many small, medium to big businesses. And it eventually inspired me to become an entrepreneur myself. And it's through this journey of becoming an entrepreneur that I felt the need to share with others how much easier it is today than ever before to start an online business, in the hopes that I can empower others and provide them with a new pathway for their own careers or aspirations. And specifically, my hope today is that you all will walk away learning something new and use it to guide you to take your first steps to explore like the opportunities that are available to you to create a business that you can call your own. So just before we start, get your pen and paper ready, whatever you need to get your notes down, because I will be providing some resources I hope that you can use after our time together today. All right, so as we get started, I want to say if you're here today, it's probably because you want to start your first online business or learn about more e-commerce opportunities, or it's probably because you saw this in the news. And just the next slide.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. I mean, it's not that hard to say that Shopify is kind of a big deal right now, but it's also often misunderstood as a brand. It's too often confused with Spotify, you know, the music streaming company. And if you go next, I'll talk further about that. So it often is very much confused with Spotify. Trust me, when I hear someone say Spotify instead of Shopify, it happens probably at least once a week. Next slide. And then at the same time, Shopify is also sometimes confused with Amazon. But however, unlike both Spotify and Amazon, Shopify is not a consumer brand, and we're not a marketplace either. Next slide. So we're basically the brand behind the brand, which means we're virtually invisible to the consumer, which might be a reason why a lot of people haven't heard about us necessarily until we were in the news recently. So simply put, Shopify is the world's first retail operating system. At a basic level, Shopify helps you sell stuff online. That's basically what it does. It streamlines all of the logistical stuff that can be intimidating and time-consuming to a small business owner who's just looking to sell online. It also allows users to build an online website through which they can host products or services for sale, or even both. Next slide. So with Shopify, you can build an e-commerce store without needing to even know how to build a website. Once you sign up, whether it's on our free trial or it's as an actual customer, who we call merchants, you can get access to all of our incredible features in your Shopify admin, which is what we're looking at right now. So I want to take this time to quickly go over some of the great features that Shopify users can utilize. Next. Our pre-built free themes allow you to easily customize your website with just a few clicks. You simply download the theme that suits you, and it could be a paid theme or it could be an absolutely free theme. And then in the back end, you just customize your website with a few clicks. So you don't need to know coding at all. So that's something that's always intimidated me about any kind of web design. I'm like, I don't have a coding background. I don't want to start suddenly, throwing in HTML into websites. This makes it so much easier. We have our staff who have thought everything for you so that you don't have to have that background, and you can create a website with just clicks, and it can look absolutely professional. And I will share some resources by the end of the presentation that are absolutely free to anyone to use to make your website look great. So next. Shopify also assists you with creating product listings. So you can add your products that you make yourself or that you outsource from other suppliers. And I'll talk a bit later about how you can build an online business without owning any inventory. You don't have to own the product. You don't have to come up with the product. I will go over that so that you can literally start a business online without having any inventory on your end and not having to do any shipping. Next. With Shopify, you can also optimize your store for SEO, which is search engine optimization. So basically what this means is Shopify assists you to set up your store so that you show up at the top of Google searches for products that you are selling. Next. It also helps you set up a shopping cart so customers can easily check out and purchase what you are selling. And you can customize it. You can have your logo in any way you want to kind of customize it, along with the email that people get once they buy something online. So if you've ever bought something online, you normally get an email that says, thank you for your purchase. You can customize that in any way you want to suit your needs. Next. So one of the things I really love is how easy Shopify makes it to manage credit card transactions using Shopify payments, along with collecting sales tax automatically for all your products and managing fulfillment of your orders. So as someone who doesn't have a sales or business background, like my background's completely filmmaking, this made it really easy for me to set up my store and just start selling right away without worrying how to handle money, which can be absolutely one of the most stressful things as a business owner. So Shopify's already thought about that for you, and they make it so that any kind of transaction of money, handling money is streamlined through the back end so that you're doing it properly. And next, Shopify allows you to easily set up and offer discount codes, sales, coupons, and gift cards to your customers. And trust me, it's literally a few clicks and you're all set. So if any of you attended the quiz night that Anaheez and I did for Dhansak Co, the winners walked away with gift cards, and that literally took seconds to set up. It was so easy, and we got it sent out to them right away. And probably one of our best features is our analytics dashboard. I honestly think this is our key selling point, and it's always in your store's admin page, which allows you to measure results of your marketing initiatives and to analyze who your customers actually are, where they're coming from, and what products seem to be most popular. And you can use this data to inform you as you make your next marketing decisions. And this is always there. You can kind of scale out specific timings to see how's your business doing in this month versus that month, how many people just showed up to your website yesterday. So you can kind of play around with that, but I think it's probably one of the key selling points of being a merchant on Shopify. So at Shopify, our mission is to make commerce better for everyone. By that, we mean not just big businesses, but our everyday small to medium business owners and those who are just starting off. And we want to make commerce more accessible and easier to use, which is why we even have children who use our platform to run their own businesses. Like, that's no joke. We have kids who have really successful businesses. We are a Canadian company, and we are, as of May, officially a digital by default company, so all of our employees work remotely. We have some big name businesses who use our platform to power their stores, such as Kylie Cosmetics, Gymshark, Bombas, Staples, and most recently Walmart. So to sum it up, with Shopify, you're able to create a website, add products to your website, execute marketing campaigns, and set up a payments gateway in order to allow sales of products or services. You can either have these products to sell in your home, or you don't even have to own any inventory at all. And I'll explain more about that today and provide you with some ideas on how you can get started with your own online business without having to spend a lot of money up front. So, and also just to mention, we have over 1 million merchants around the globe who use Shopify to run their businesses. And I want to share with you a short video my team made that compiles clips from the many small to medium Shopify merchants we filmed that are relative. Oh, this meeting's being recorded. So just get products that are relatively inexpensive, but also get something that's unique. So remember that these are impulsive purchases made by people who probably will see your ads on social media. So if the product is relatively inexpensive and unique for them, then chances are they'll purchase from you since they don't know where else to get it. So just keep that in mind. And that's sometimes when I've made an impulsive purchase. I think recently I saw an ad. It was this cool little mini camera, and it's like literally super tiny. Someone took a picture and it just prints it's not like a Polaroid camera, but it prints out a full size picture for you. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I've never seen that. And I ended up buying it. You know, like probably that was drop shipped. It seemed cheap to me. It was like $10 and I'm sure they got it for even cheaper. So it's just something to think about, is like, how can you get into the minds of people who are going to do impulsive purchases? So if you're thinking about exploring drop shipping, Shopify does have a few amazing free resources for you. And you don't have to be a Shopify merchant to get access to this. So first, we have a great 45-minute drop shipping webinar. I'm just going to share that with you. For you to watch, led by Corey Ferreira, who's a fellow coworker. He's a Shopify educator and a drop shipping expert. So he's like absolutely brilliant. He has like an amazing store that's done really well. I think it's like he received over 8,000 orders within a very short time span. So he understands drop shipping really well. I really recommend this 45-minute webinar. Just take it a watch, and I think you'll walk away kind of feeling a bit more empowered to start your own drop shipping store. We also have Oberlo. So I mentioned Oberlo is like the app we use to do drop shipping that Shopify owns. They have an amazing, like absolute amazing drop shipping 101 course that I highly recommend anyone who wants to do drop shipping. And the great thing is right now for a limited time, it's actually free. So do sign up right away. And by right away, I just mean today after this session. Don't wait, sign up and take this course. It's absolutely incredible. And you're going to walk away really feeling super confident to start drop shipping. Also, speaking about Oberlo, they also have probably the best e-newsletter. Like I normally hate getting newsletters, but apart from Parsi Khabar and Fazada, I think the only other weekly newsletter I probably read on a daily basis is Oberlo's. And I go back and I probably read even like their archived blogs, because they're just so good at giving you a basic overview, not only of drop shipping, but just other business models that you can use when you're selling online. Absolutely love them. So please do sign up. You just go on oberlo.com and enter your email and you'll get their newsletter. So now that we have a basic overview of what drop shipping is, I want to now move over onto another business model that's somewhat similar but has a creative twist, which is print on demand. So print on demand is suited for designers and those who want to creatively flex. It's similar to drop shipping. However, unlike drop shipping, the focus here is on customizing these products with your own original designs. So a lot of influencers, musicians, celebrities, and artists use print on demand to sell their merchandise to fans. Alongside, many businesses also use print on demand to sell just about any design on any product. So as you can see, the print on demand model is somewhat similar to drop shipping. So once your designs are on your website, a customer can purchase them, and then the supplier prints and packages and delivers them on your behalf. So just like drop shipping, the upside to print on demand is that this online business model, with this online business model, you can create a product that isn't selling well and you actually haven't lost any money, considering you haven't paid for this product just as yet. You only pay when you make a sale. So it's one of those less like risk averse kind of situations. So with your Shopify account, you can download many apps, a lot which are actually free, to help you set up and run your business the way you want it. So with a print on demand business, you'll need to go to the Shopify App Store and select the supplier who will print, package, and ship your products for you. Now, each supplier, just keep in mind, has different offerings. So you'll just need to decide what you want to sell and which supplier offers what you need. For example, some will have, towels that you want to put your designs on. Some don't have towels. It just depends what products you want to sell your designs on. And then once you select the supplier, it's the product itself is automatically linked to your account. You just put the design on and you're ready to go. And of course, you always select the price. So here's just some options. Like, you can put your designs on a huge variety of products like t-shirts, caps, phone cases, tote bags, umbrellas, pillowcases. Like, it's really endless. I've seen some really unique products out there. So it's just limitless. You just have to research the supplier that's going to provide what you need. So I just kind of want to give an example of the back end, what it looks like when you download the app and you want to put your design up. So you simply select the product. In this case, I have a men's shirt, and you place your design where you want it on that shirt. And then you select what colors you want to make available for sale on your website. Now, when it comes to designs to sell, you do have two options that I'm going to go over. You can either create the designs yourself, or you can hire a designer to create them for you. So if you want to make them but don't have graphic design skills, don't worry. There's websites such as Creative Market that allow you to download existing designs for a small payment, and then you sell them on your store. So like now let's imagine my website that I'm creating focuses on camping and hiking, and I want to sell my products with camping designs. I can go on Creative Market, find designs around the theme of camping and hiking. And as you can see right here, I've selected this one. I just thought it was really cute. And there's a commercial license you see on the side that I can use and sell these the designs online. And it's only 17 bucks. And every supplier is different. I mean, every artist, like some of them will allow you to sell up to a certain amount of products with their design before you need to upgrade the license to an extended commercial license. But at the end of the day, it's pretty affordable. You get designs that are already made, and then you get that permission to then put it on your own shirts and sell them. So once you pay for the license, you can add the designs to your print-on-demand store and sell them on many things, like here you see cards, posters, or even baby onesies. But if you prefer to have someone else create a specific design in mind for you, then it's better to go the route of hiring a designer. So you can find designers on websites such as Fiverr and other freelance sites, including Upwork, Dribble, or 99 Designs. This is just some options available to you. Just check out their previous work and then commission them to create the design that you specifically want for your print-on-demand store. And print-on-demand is a creative business model to set up, which doesn't require you to have any inventory up front. However, if you do already have a product that you are already making, that you make from home, for example, that you want to sell, then we'll go over the next model, which is what I call the maker model. So with Shopify, you can be empowered to turn your hobby into a business. And the maker model means you conceptualize and create the product you are selling online. So whether you're making food, clothing, candles, jewelry, or anything else, you can use Shopify to set up a website and make sales both locally and internationally. And when you make your own product, you can keep your inventory at home and ship once you make a sale, or you can use Shopify fulfillment centers to carry your inventory and ship your products out for you. However, our fulfillment centers are mainly for businesses who are making roughly 10 to 10,000 sales a day within the USA only. So it really only applies then when you're making a large volume of sales. With Shopify, we do have the best negotiated shipping rates. So once you make a sale, you can print the shipping label straight from your Shopify admin and then stick it to your packaging and send it off to your customer. And our backend keeps track of inventory and the status of your order, so you can keep track of your workflow. And the great thing about the maker model for online businesses is that you have a greater sense of ownership, and quality control is in your hands. So everything from your product to the packaging is completely in your creative control. So that's the nice thing about taking the maker model, is because you've created this product. You can control everything. You are the person who's going to decide what quality product am I giving people. And of course, like the other business models I've shown, the nice thing about this right now is that entire business can be run online from home. So when people automatically assume that online businesses, they just assume online businesses means selling like a tangible product, like, it could be clothing or crafts or whatever, but that's not necessarily always the case. You can also run an online business through Shopify where you're selling a service instead. Or in some cases, you can sell both a product and a service on the same website. With service-based businesses, time is money applies here. So it's important for you to consider how you allocate your time for a service-based business. When you're selling a service specifically, you're being strictly paid for your skills, time, and your effort. So examples of service-based businesses include online classes, such as fitness classes, online workshops, which are popular, such as cooking classes, drawing classes, singing classes, as well as coaching and seminars. So now that we've briefly gone over 4 online business models, I want to offer you some information about the amazing resources Shopify has to offer. And the best thing is these are all free again, so you don't have to be a merchant. Any one of us can, after this webinar, go and use these resources. So first one I always bring up is probably one of our best resources, which is Shopify Compass. And it's essentially an online Shopify school. It hosts free online learning courses, which are designed for independent business owners and for those preparing to make the leap into entrepreneurship. Shopify Compass gives you access to expert knowledge from some of Shopify's top selling business owners. So I highly recommend you give it a try, whether you want to start an online business right away or even in the future. Like this is free, like free courses online for you to learn how to set up your own kind of business. And I want to just share like some of my favorite courses that I've taken from Compass. They vary in length, but each one is so brilliantly produced. Like I never really regret giving my time to them. I always tell people to start with the goal setting with Damon John. If you don't know necessarily what you want to do and what your whole business plan is and where you want to go with it, just watch this. Like it's less than an hour and you're going to walk away feeling a bit more empowered on how to set yourself up for success with some actual proper goal setting. And I think it's huge for everybody because you'll have a great design and you'll be inspired, but you know, that inspiration won't take you anywhere if you don't have concrete goals written down. So next we have Shopify's blog, another free resource, and it hosts articles about e-commerce marketing, running an online business, and updates to Shopify's e-commerce community. So it essentially gives you the knowledge and inspiration that you just sometimes need to build your business towards profitability. So sometimes they have articles that inspire you to get your own store started. For example, this article gives you some inspirational ideas on how to get your own maker store started. Or this article shows you how to run an online food business with tips and tricks to do it effectively and safely, especially legally, because we're dealing with food. Or this one, which I really enjoyed, which is how to write an effective business plan. And this is a must for anyone just starting. So the 2 things you need to get started on Shopify is really just a logo and a few pictures to place on your website. And Shopify has free resources so you can get started right away. Hatchful is our actual free logo maker. It's super free for anybody to use. And it helps you create a unique logo that you can, that sends you like all your assets to your email immediately afterwards. And it just takes a few clicks. And it's a great way to just get started in case you just want to go and launch your store. And you can always update your logo later. You can either hire a designer, make your own, or you can use our free logo maker. And here's just some of the great logos that have been generated from it. So they look pretty decent. If you don't want to spend the money and you just want to go and get a simple logo, go through Hatchful. This is one of my favorite resources we have. It's called Burst, and it's a library of royalty-free stock photos for you to use for your business's social media and your website. So it's super, like, it's amazing that this is free. You can use it. You don't need to get permission from the website to use their photos. And they're professionally shot, so it makes any website look professional immediately. Sorry. So there's a great number of categories to choose from. For example, if you're starting a store featuring coffee products for sale, you can search on Burst for stock photos about coffee to liven up your website around that theme specifically. And a professional looking website just always builds more trust in your customer. I mean, they're deciding whether or not to buy from you. So you want to make sure that they can trust you and that this seems like a professional website. And it just makes you look good and looks like someone they can trust to handle the money, because it's always an exchange of money here. And I want to just end off today with a few final thoughts for everybody. Just remember, Shopify is entirely a personal experience for everybody. Every single person who uses it has their own unique entrepreneurial journey with their own sets of ups and downs. And I really hope you all walk away today with more confidence in yourself to start your own business, and that you don't have to have a lot of capital to get started. I would love to see more Canadians, and especially my fellow Zoroastrians, to create their own businesses during this time that could potentially just become a primary source of income for you, whether now or in the future. And at least even just be an experience that helps you grow as an entrepreneur. I strongly believe that the fabric of our communities is small businesses, and there's a potential for local businesses to be even stronger after this challenging era, that people will be more willing to support local businesses since they're now more than ever aware about the power of small businesses to deliver products and services that they once seeked out from big retailers. And lastly, I just want to share that the cost of failure is as low as it can possibly be today than in the past. If you want to be an entrepreneur, sure, you can think about like a million reasons why your business idea could fail, or instead you can start a business and learn as you go along. And the worst thing you can do is just have regret that you didn't start sooner or try it out in the first place. And I just encourage all of us to take risks, you know, allow crazy ideas to happen, do things, tell people. And something I've learned myself is that even if that idea isn't perfect, just allow it to happen. So just say yes more. And I hope that's something you can kind of walk away with today. And yeah, thank you for listening to me today. If you want to give a free 2-week trial a go, I will drop the link in the comments section for you to sign up. And remember, your credit card information won't be collected, so you have 2 weeks to try out all the features I've shown you today for absolutely free, just so you can see what kind of online business you want to potentially explore. Also, feel free to stay connected with me over LinkedIn and Instagram. If you haven't already, I'm going to do this. Follow Fazana on Instagram. I would absolutely love for you guys to stay in check for all Zoroastrian events and news in North America and beyond. I'm also currently in the works of launching Path of Asha, which is a new initiative to share Zoroastrian stories. So please feel to follow there as well. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you. I'll leave this up for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much. It's awesome. Very, very good presentation. If there's any questions, let's see if we can get some going here.
There's one question that's in the chat window already from Adel. He wants to know if Dhansak and Co are using Shopify. So buyer visits seller's website. Can you be a one-time seller, and is there an opportunity for scams?
Okay. Yes, we're using Shopify. So buyer visits seller's website. Yeah. So like you won't see, you know, when you go on a website that's made by Shopify, you're not going to know it's made by Shopify. But yes, we do use it. Can you be a one-time seller? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. If you just give me some clarity, like as in you hop on and then you close the store.
Tanya, if you have if one has 1,000 items of something they want to sell, you know, and it's not going to be a repeat seller over years, you know.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's totally up to you. If you want to do it within the 2-week free trial, go for it, you know, or you can sign up for a few months. It's a monthly subscription, so you can pay monthly for as long as you want to use it, and then you can shut down your store. It's always cheaper to do the annual subscription, so you pay for the whole year in advance, and then obviously you're going to save some money there. But if you want to sell for a specific period of time, then you just pay for that much, and then you can just shut down store.
Because we got scammed once, and I'm wondering if there are opportunities for scammers, you know, where people place the orders but don't get the product, you know.
Oh, I see. With drop shipping, they could happen, but that's why we also vouch for the suppliers that we're offering through Oberlo. I think that's why we kind of purchased that app, because we make sure that we do the work on our end to only feature suppliers that are trustworthy, that aren't going to, you know, take your money and just walk away with it. There's always going to be I think if it's not so much getting scammed from our end, but getting scammed from your customers, that's always a possibility. And what we do in our back end is with every order, we actually analyze, and you'll be seeing it as the owner, if the order is at risk of fraud. So you can then decide if you want to accept the payment from that customer, or then you contact that customer to just clarify and get their details to ensure that it's not some bot or somebody who's trying to scam you. So that's the really great thing. And like, even with like my own stores, I always make sure that I have it set up manually. So every person who purchases something from me, I have to vouch before I place the order on my end, and accept their money. If it looks like it's a high fraud order, and I'm like, okay, they just ordered like $300 worth of things, and I don't think I'm going to get those $300, then I just cancel it and I just refund the potential money that they gave me. It's just not worth it if you feel like there's a risk. So yeah, we set you up to protect you in that case. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, could you share some information on the online training portal? They think it's called Compass.
Yeah. So Compass is essentially, it's an online training portal. It's like online school for entrepreneurs for free. So you don't have to necessarily go and, you know, pay thousands of dollars to learn about entrepreneurship. my big thing is like, I didn't go to business school. I went to school to learn how to tell stories. And I'm doing this now. And it's because of, you know, resources we have like Compass, blogs, even just watching YouTube videos, you know, like, and just doing it. Like doing it is the big thing, which is why I recommend people just try the trial out. We're not going to collect your credit card information. Just try it for 2 weeks out. If you want to start selling stuff, that's when you can put your credit card in because you need your credit card to exchange money. But otherwise, just try it out. And I see someone saying, what's the Compass website? I'm just going to drop it in here. Give me 1 second.
It was Shopify Compass, right? www.shopify.compass.
It'll take you straight there. What I'm showing you right now is the link for the 2-week free trial. So here's for everybody. You'll see that in the comments section. You can start your trial anytime. Just click on that link and it'll take you straight there. But yeah, for Compass, it's Shopify Compass. Let me see. I have the website somewhere here. Yeah, shopifycompass.com.
Correct.
So let me copy that, and you can also click on that.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next question is from Shama. He says, thank you, Tanya, for a great presentation. What happens with a return item or a refund?
Good question. So with Shopify payments, the way it basically works is when someone purchases a product from you, the money that they've given you, so say you're selling a product that's $30, they gave you $30, it's going to be held within Shopify payments for about a week. So you can then put in your, I guess on your website somewhere where it says like FAQs, you can write down that they have 7 days to request a refund, or you can choose not to give a refund. It's your business. So it's up to you what you want to do. But within that 7 days, it's very easy to just return the money. Just click refund. Like I've done it before. I'm like, nope, I click refund. The money goes back to them. I don't fulfill the order. So that's like a really easy way to do the refunds. And if they decide to, you know, they want a refund later on, then you just have to do that exchange of money on your own through your own bank account, which makes it a bit more complicated. So that's really a big thing. So the money comes in, it's held for a certain amount of days, and then after it's going to be deposited into your account. So it's within that time frame that I always recommend people to do your refunds and make sure it's in your legal terms that that's the only time you'll be doing refunds for them. And you can also choose not to. You could choose not to do refunds or exchanges because it costs money and it costs time, and you might not have the resources to handle it. And you just have to make that very clear, and I recommend including that in their in the product descriptions or on the FAQ page or even in checkout, so they're aware before they purchase it.
Okay, the next question is, does Shopify take a percentage of the sales over and above the subscription? And at the same time, maybe you can answer if Shopify is similar to Amazon.
Okay. So no, we're not similar to Amazon because we're not a marketplace. People don't come to Shopify to purchase products. Shopify is an invisible. It's like, it's a brand behind the brand. You know, we give you the resources to start a store. So if you were to go to shopify.com, you're not going to see products listed there to purchase. You're going to see our service to create your website. That's what you're going to see. I mean, recommend just going to shopify.com and you'll see what I mean. The other question, sorry, what was the other question? The first part of that?
Is it like Amazon? So
yeah,
like Amazon, you actually answered that.
So yeah,
that it's not.
All right. Hopefully I answer that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Percentage of sales. No. So as far as I'm aware, the most basic account that you'll be setting up, no. Even up to advanced Shopify, no, they don't take a percentage. You just get a hit on credit card transactions. For every credit card transaction, a small percentage of that you will be charged, but it's very small. Other than that, I think it's if you start becoming a plus merchant, so this is merchants that make, you know, $1 million or more in revenue a year, I think then there's negotiations sometimes whether they take a commission or not. So when you get there, you can worry about it, but otherwise, no, we don't take commissions. You're just paying a subscription fee, and that's the only exchange of money I'm aware of between us and the customer.
Okay. Next question is from Arlena, and she asks, do you have to buy a domain name for the store? How do you basically promote your store online and drive traffic to it?
Okay, great questions. No, you don't have to buy a domain name. A lot of people choose not to, and then your domain name becomes whatever the name of your store is, and then .myshopify.com, and that's totally available, and you can just use that. You know, you can save money. Personally, I just recommend purchasing a domain name. You can do it easily through Shopify when you set up. It's, I think, $14 per domain name, and then you have it for the year. So I recommend that. It just looks a bit better, but you don't have to. And you can just have the domain name that we offer you for absolutely free, and you can run your store completely through that. And we've had successful businesses do that. You know, it's totally a personal choice. And I mean, once your business gets really big, then I really recommend owning that domain name so someone doesn't take your name and start doing other things with it, right? So that's just the only thing. And how do you basically promote your store online? I mean, there's so many ways. You can just do it in organic ways. If you know where your target audience is, and you can find access to them, like find out who has access. Is it newsletters that target them? Is it specific influencers that have access to them? Then you work alongside them to promote your products, whether it's giving your product for free to an influencer so they can promote it on Instagram, Facebook. It can be also using Facebook, Instagram ads. So that just means you're going to have to put money behind ad spend and find that audience. There's so many different ways. It's up to you to kind of decide how you want to do the marketing, and depends on how much money you want to put behind it. I do recommend it and give it a try and give it a test. But if you're uncomfortable with doing ad spend, like someone like me, I'm not comfortable. So I hire someone to do it. It's just better for my money to get someone to do it right than me spending my money and possibly doing it wrong. If that makes sense.
Okay, the next question is from Katie. She's a silk artist and she has hand-painted scarves and wearables. She's created her website on WordPress and she's wondering if Shopify will work for her kind of art.
Of course, yeah. Shopify works for literally anything. You could be selling anything. I could be selling this jar of water, and I could use like Shopify to sell it. Yeah, you can sell anything on Shopify, and you don't have to necessarily build your website through Shopify. So if you're happy with your website on WordPress and you want to connect to e-commerce service to sell your scarves, then you can do that with Shopify. And then when people click on shop on your site, then that's when Shopify's service comes into place. It kicks in. And yeah, you can totally do that. I mean, with Shopify, what I recommend to people is that if you're making a certain amount of sales, where the cost of the subscription is less than what you're making in a month, that's when you should use it. So I think the basic plan is $29 a month. If you're not making $29 a month in sales, then it doesn't actually make sense to use Shopify at all, because you're then at a loss. But if you're making, a nice steady amount of sales per month, and it's more than the cost of the subscription, then go for it and use it. And even things like, I know a lot of people will use other platforms that also allow you to sell, but some platforms do take a commission. And if that commission is greater than the cost of a Shopify subscription, then that's when you make that decision to move over. And then we have lots of resources to kind of help and guide you on how to be able to sell your scarves online or any other product that you're creating yourself. I think that'd be awesome if you were able to.
Okay, so I think that's it for questions, because the very last one is asking about return inventories, like how do you handle return inventories? But I think you already covered that earlier. If there are any other questions, you guys are welcome to type it in the chat window. Now's your chance to ask.
Thank you. I mean, I'm always happy to kind of guide you to the right resources. Again, just use the resources I mentioned. Shopify Compass, the blog is huge. Probably any question you have is on our Shopify blog. There's an answer for it, 100%. We have our Shopify forums. Again, they have answers to probably any question you have. Because even for me, I'm like, how do you do this? I type it, I find it. Because somebody's already thought about it. And yeah, the answers are there for you. Just take the time, go through it, be informed, but also don't wait for perfection to launch your store, because then you're gonna be waiting forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. Just do it. Try the 2-week free trial out.
Make a mistake is the best way to do it.
You don't even have to launch your store if you don't want to. I say use the trial to try out things. Look at the apps, look at the platform, get used to it, get comfortable with it, learn more stuff, and then just watch the Compass courses to empower yourself as an entrepreneur. Anyone can do this. You don't have to come from a business background. You don't have to come from sales or web design or marketing. Like, I don't come from any of those backgrounds, and I'm doing it. So you don't have to be tech savvy. Yeah, so I'm just seeing that comment. No.
But it helps.
It helps, but you will become it by spending
time. Exactly. It's all about experience. It's about doing it and making mistakes. If there's anything I can tell or add to your presentation is, I mean, the biggest mistake is waiting too long and not doing it at all. The second thing is just, and if you don't make a mistake, maybe something is really wrong. You should be able to, that's the key ingredient. You make mistakes, you learn from them, and you move on. And that's how and if you're doing it only to make money, then what's the no, I'm sorry. If it's only all about money, then maybe you've lost the if the focus is on what you have, and if the focus is on what you want to sell, the money will come. That's one thing I can tell young entrepreneurs and everybody who wants to be rich and famous, that if that's your goal, to be rich and famous, then you know what, you'll be chasing the rainbow until the end of your life. But if you focus on what you want to do and have a passion for what, the finances and the revenue.
No, definitely. I think it's fine. Like, I mean, if you're so many people come on Shopify because they just want to make money, and that's why you come on it. You want to make money. Otherwise, like, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, it's like you have that goal that's clear.
Correct.
But also understand like why you're doing it. That's the big thing. Like, why this target audience? Why do you want to specifically market them? What problem are you solving? If you can't answer those questions, you're going to make it much harder for you to market this website. So you have to have that in mind before you start. I'm seeing a question. Does Shopify provide product market analytics? Yes, it does. So I think just, you might've missed it. It was just at the very beginning of my presentation. We have an entire analytics dashboard that shows you everything about who's purchasing things from where did they find your website from, what products get put in a cart and then abandoned. So then you'll see like what products are people actually wanting to buy, but then choose not to. So you can market that more. It helps you just figure out how to spend your ad spend, in a smart way, so you're not wasting your money. You'll be able to find that audience who's actually coming to your site. Can you please explain how I can continue?
Hand raised. I think it's Shama. Did you want to say something? You can unmute yourself and talk, Shama.
Yeah, hi, Tanya. Great presentation. Thank you. I think even James or somebody asked the same question on return items. So what I meant with refund is not refund right away. Let's say somebody ordered 10 shirts, 10 jugs, or whatever, 10 printed of some stuff, and they saw the product and did not like it.
Yeah.
Now they want to return it. Does it go to the supplier? Where does it go once the product is shipped out?
If it's a drop shipping, or print on demand, yes, it goes back to the supplier. You'll never have to handle it. They'll just have to pay whatever the cost is to return it. It just depends per supplier. Some of them might give them a free slip and some might not. You don't have to handle that. But if it's a product you've made, so for example, with the silk scarves, that's going to come back to you. You're the one shipping it out. So then you have to handle that relationship. And the big thing is you still have to handle customer service. So your print, if you're using a supplier for your print on demand or drop shipping, they're not going to do customer service for you. You have to handle that relationship. You have to contact your supplier and say, hey, this customer wants to do a refund. Okay. So you are involved either way.
But is the return label shipped with the product, or they have to return it on their own, the shipping part?
It depends per supplier. I mean, you can set it up with your supplier so they do send it right away with it. I personally don't do returns for mine, like for my site. So that's just a decision I've made, so I don't have to do this. But I notify my customer before they even process payment so that they're aware. So that's not something that they realize later on. Yeah. But if you do choose to do returns, it just depends by supplier, and you have to own that relationship on how those returns will work. But it's possible. Yes, you can do returns. Yes. Okay, and with minimal cost to you. You just have to plan that out in advance. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome.
Okay, so Katie with the silk scarves, she wants you to explain a bit in detail about how she can continue with her current site she had on WordPress and link it to Shopify.
To link it to Shopify, it just means that Shopify is going to be an additional page for your WordPress site. So you have to create a new page and then you connect Shopify's software to it. And Shopify guides you through how to do that. But I think the best thing you can do is just shift over the whole thing. I mean, if you've already set it up and it's really complex and you don't want to change the site, then sure, add Shopify. But I think it just makes more sense to set up your whole website and everything just through one platform. So you're not having to, connect things. But that is an option. I've seen many people do it. I've seen people have a website made through a different company, and then they add Shopify as a separate, as an additional page on their site. So when someone clicks Shopify, suddenly Shopify's software kicks in, and then we're running whatever the people are doing. If they're clicking on the product, they're doing shopping cart, the payments, like all of that is Shopify providing that for you.
Okay, thank you. Now we have a question from Natasha Modi. She says, great presentation, Tanya. Thanks a lot. Would you be able to quickly touch upon the difference between Etsy and Shopify?
Oh man, I get very nerdy when it comes to these two. So Etsy is really great. Like I'm never going to be someone to Shopify, just Shopify. Like I think Etsy's great. It's really great when you're starting off and you're selling something with arts and crafts and you're not making enough sales to warrant a Shopify subscription. So if you're not making at least $29 or more in sales a month with your business, then don't use Shopify. You're going to lose money. Like you will. So if you want to just start off and sell a few things, maybe you're selling like, a few items a year, then use Etsy. Go for it. Like all the power to you. I don't want people to lose money at the end of the day as business owners. But with Shopify, with Etsy specifically, with every sale you make, they take a commission. They take a percentage of your sale. So if you're making a lot of sales and suddenly you're realizing, hey, I'm losing more than $29 a month from my commission to Etsy, then you might as well switch over to Shopify. We're only taking 29. We don't care how much you're making. We take that 29 and you can make thousands and thousands and we're not taking a commission of that. So that's when you make that clear decision to switch over. So what platform is going to save you money and give you the resources you need to scale as a business? It's really hard to scale on Etsy. I'll be very honest. I've used Etsy. I've had friends who've used Etsy, and I have a friend now who's transferring. They've made that decision. They're like, hey, I'm losing money on Etsy. I can just pay $29 a month and do Shopify. So they switched over. That's like the clear distinction that I have. But there's really great things about Etsy. Like I'm not going to completely tear that company down. I think they're doing great stuff. But I think it just depends what you need as a business owner. And it's just the scaling option. With Shopify, you have better options to scale as a business. You have analytics that I don't think we're going to get from Etsy. It's a whole different ball game.
Okay, so Natasha says for that. The next question is from Armina. She wants to know if she should set up a business entity or just sell as an individual.
You don't have to be incorporated. You could sell as an individual. Yeah.
Especially if you're making small volumes.
And if I could jump in there, I think it's safer to do it as a business. So you have liability protection, rather than as an individual.
100%. And it's totally up to you. It's totally your choice.
But Adel, again, to just follow up on that, just get started. If there's any advice I can give to a young entrepreneur or anybody who wants to start out, just get started. Forget about all the bells and whistles and dotting the I's and get started. You can hopefully you will make $1 million and you can get your tax number and you can get your or whatever the tax information, all that.
It takes 50.
Yep. There you go. Absolutely. But in the meantime, just start. If Tanya wants to sell that glass or whatever, start selling it with or without the water. Yeah. Once you get the sales, then you can worry about what the tax man wants and what your accountant wants and what your accounting department and bookkeepers want. That's the one thing.
Yeah, and, be careful. The costs do add up, so I don't want to start.
Keep costs minimal.
A business is very expensive. I've done it. It's very expensive. So it only makes sense if you're very confident that you are going to make the money back for all this investment, but if you're just starting off and you want to test things out, you don't have to, and it's really fun. I don't think there's much risk right away, but once you start getting those sales in, then register.
Perfect. Let's hope.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hope that you do succeed.
Okay, the next question is, can you please explain how we service providing business can leverage Shopify?
Of course. So there's really cool, unique service businesses that use us. I think the one that I really love is fitness classes, especially recently. I've been using Shopify to sell online classes. It's the same exact process as even a maker business model. So even if you're not selling a tangible product, you can list it as a product. So the product could be your fitness classes, it could be coaching, it could be webinars. We have different options available in the back end for you to set it up so that it suits your service that you're providing. And you can even host it through the site. You can host your fitness classes through your Shopify site. So that's really the big thing. It's at the end of the day, it's still an exchange of money. It's still listed as a product. People can go select what they want, check out, pay. It's the same thing. I hope that helps.
Can it be an archived lesson or an archived if they want to pay for it? So let's say you've done the presentation, it's a yoga or a Pilates or something like that, and then they want to, and it's there. So if they want to buy that 30 minutes or 60 minutes it's pre-recorded, and if they do, then they pay so much and they get the recording. Is that right?
Exactly. Yes. And I think one thing I mentioned was like you can even sell ebooks, for example, where you've already written down what you want to share with them, the knowledge. Or you can sell all those like digital assets.
Right.
And great. It's like, you know, it's income that's just flowing through your store without you having to even provide the service because you've already written it down. So then they get what they need. I've seen photographers do this. They sell photography ebooks, graphic designers selling, you know, their advice, even photographers selling like presets, you know, online that people want for their pictures. There's endless amount of things that you can do that's like more service-based. But yeah, you can totally have it archived and people can purchase that. Why not?
Very good.
You can sell
Okay,
just
one question from Katie. She wants to know if her WordPress website can be migrated to Shopify, or would it mean going through the entire process of setting up her website again?
Yes, it can be, which is amazing. It's like super easy. You go in once you're, you can try it out with the trial. You go in and there's a section where it says, I think it literally says like migrate my business, and you select the site you're currently using. So in your case, WordPress, and it will migrate it. And I don't think it'll be, I don't know if it'll be 100% exact match, but some things will probably move over, especially your products. That's like the big thing. That's probably the biggest hassle. And then you can then customize the site using our themes.
Okay.
And we do have, one thing I should mention is we do have support that's like available 24/7 once you sign up, whether you're on a trial or you're a merchant, to kind of guide you through it. And I'm sure there's endless amount of forums to kind of explain how that migration works. And you won't be the first to do it. I know a lot of people have moved over from several different sites to Shopify, and that's why we have that separate section on our admin page to make it easy for you to do. Because I can understand, you know, it's like you don't want to redo all that work you've done. So we're trying to make it as easy for you to make that transition.
Okay. Any closing remarks from Cyrus or Arash?
I just like to say thank you to everybody. Sorry for the little bit of technical difficulties. We're still ironing out. This was, I think, our third or fourth Zoom meeting, and so far they've gone well. I'm not sure what happened there in the midstream, but first, a great thank you to Tanya. Amazing, very good presentation, and I'll certainly take you up on some more information in the future. It's great, and it's an opportunity for all of us to be able to maybe you know, sell something or make some money, whether it's short-term, long-term, career, whatever it is. It's great, and the information that you provided is very interesting. Hopefully people will take a lot away from it.
Thank you. I'm glad. And I'm going to just drop in the link again if you want to try the 2-week free trial. Just click on that, sign up, try it out. Hopefully you find, you know, the exact business model that interests you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you, Afri. Thank you, Arash. I really appreciate it. And of course, Adel, thank you so much. Like WZCC as a whole, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
On the contrary, our pleasure.
Up.
Thank you.